Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to another Arc Garage video. Today I'm gonna show you how to install the LED projectors on your car. So we are essentially gonna go from this right here, which are, by the way, the H7 halogen ultra bright bulbs, to this in only couple of hours of work. I'm gonna start by removing the headlights. If you want to check out the detailed video, I'm gonna put it down in the description below. Now, to install the LED projectors, we gotta take the headlights apart. Now, in most cases they are sealed using a butyl rubber. In that case, all we gotta do is heat them up at 100 degrees for 7 minutes and the glue will let go. Now sadly these are sealed using silicone, so I'm gonna have to use all of these tools to scrape the silicone out. To remove the original projector, we got 3 screws we got to remove. So there's one right there, we got one on the other side, and we got one more down below. Alright, so we got our old projector on the top and the new one on the bottom. You can see that the original projector is a bit longer, or at least this metal piece is maybe like 10 millimeter more in length. So it is going to take a bit more effort to make it fit right, but it shouldn't be too much of a hassle. Okay, so I've positioned the new projector properly using the original holes and a couple of these screws. You can see that the projector is now mounted from the front instead of from the back like the original one was, just to compensate for the length. Now the plan here is to use this metal bracket to secure it to the new projector, and I'm gonna be able to use the original holes on this main mount. I'm gonna mark the holes on this metal piece and I'm gonna move on to drilling. I'm also gonna fabricate a small mount for the third screw. If you are doing this on Alfa Romeo Giulietta, I'm just going to take a couple of measurements of this main mount to make it easier for you. So the length is 100 millimeters, the width is going to be 15 millimeters. Now the distance between these two holes is 69 millimeters, and the distance between these two outer holes is going to be 86 millimeters. I'm going to move on to assembly. So as I said before, I'm just going to use a couple of screws to secure this metal mount to the new projector. The one thing that I would suggest when you are making this mount is to make the holes a bit bigger. That's going to allow you to move it around a little bit just to get that perfect position. Another thing that I would want to emphasize is that you want to get these screws nice and tight. You don't want anything getting loose inside the headlights, because you would have to take them apart again. So just make sure that you tighten everything just right. And if you want to be extra safe, you can always use some thread glue. Now the third metal piece that I made is going to be used for this bottom screw is basically just a small piece of metal with two holes next to each other. So now I'm gonna get this screw tightened, and the good thing about this one is that I can move this metal mount up and down to perfectly position it over the hole. Again, here's how everything looks. Everything is nice and tight, and these new mounts are gonna be positioned perfectly over the original holes. Now before I can put the new projector in, I gotta sort out the wiring. Now these two thick wires are gonna be our positive and negative for our bulb, and these two thinner wires essentially operate the solenoid which controls the flap for the high beam. So I'm gonna put these male connectors on all of the wires. Now our two thick wires, the black one and the red one, are gonna be plugged into the connector for the low beam H7 bulb. So when you turn on the lights, these two wires are gonna get the power from the connector and they're gonna send it to the LED diode. Also, the two thinner wires are gonna be plugged into the high beam connector. Since the bulb is H1, so you got the one positive connector, and beside the bulb you will be able to see there's one more connector for the ground, so you basically plug them there. When you activate the high beam lights, as I said before, the solenoid activates and it basically just allows more light to get through. Moving on to final assembly. So as you can see, I've basically just put these three long screws through my new mounts, and everything mounts on the original holes. So on the other side, I'm just gonna add some washers and the nuts which are gonna secure everything. Again, I'm gonna tighten everything good just to make sure that nothing gets loose, and I can put the lens back onto the headlight. So just to remind you, these were our original lights, and these are our new by LED projectors. You can see that the difference is more than obvious, and I'm more than happy with these results. Just to give you the heads up, I needed to adjust the headlights a little bit manually using those screws, so I needed to pull up the low beams. And if you want to see how to do that, I'm gonna put the link to the video in the description below. Now let's check out our high beams, and you can see that they are great. Now that we've seen that, let's check out how they look on the road. So you can see these are the low beams and they illuminate the road really good. Now let's check out the high beams, and you can see that the road is completely illuminated. Anyway, that would be all for this video. I hope you find it useful. If you did, hit that like button and support our channel by subscribing and by sharing our content with the rest of car enthusiasts.